Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. In today's video, we're going to work on the rose that's behind me. This is the David Austin rose. It's called the Mill on the Floss. And actually, when I replanted this rose last year, I made a mistake and put an obelisk on there, and I need to remove that. I did not realize this rose was going to have such long canes, and I believe it is a rambler rose instead of a shrub rose, because you can see behind me it's got those really long canes. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the obelisk and why we need to remove that, so I can put it on the trellis that I bought for this canes to be tied to, so I can have a lovely display of blooms this summer. So this is the mill on the floss right here, and it has really tall canes. They're actually taller than me, as you can see. So I'm going to, and I would like to, remove that obelisk that's right there in the middle, and I'll bring the camera a little closer. But I want these canes to go up to the side of the house so I can have a really pretty display of blooms this summer. So actually this was the edging that was around the tree that got took out last week, but let me bring you a little bit closer so you can see the trellis. So this is where I made my mistake. So for the first year, it held the canes up really well, but this cane right here is actually rubbing. Can you see where it's rubbing right there? So I don't want to damage that, and I cannot pull this rose up. Sorry, I cannot pull this obelisk up and just pull it right over the cane. So I feel like it's going to have to be cut out. So I'm waiting for my husband to assist me in this, so then I'm able to, I bought these trellises. I bought 2 of them. They're probably about 7 feet tall, but I wished they had 3. Here's the tag on that right there. So I paid approximately $50 for each of these trellises. But I'm gonna just tie the rose onto the trellis there for a real pretty display this summer. And I'm also going to train this rose right here. This is the Lady of the Lake, and I knew when I bought this one that this was a climber, and I did the same thing. So I made a mistake when I planted it, that I interweaved this branch, and then you can see that I got it going up that way and onto this small trellis, which I'm gonna remove, and I'm gonna do something different here. So I also need to try to get this removed as well. I can pull it up over this here, but I'm struggling with this right here, and I don't want to damage the rose. So again, I'm gonna have my husband Paul assist me and see if he could get this trellis or obelisk removed for me. And then I would like to train this rose to go up this post, and like up here on the eave there, like have like some little hooks where I could put wire up there so I can train it to go up this area and even up on the other side. So in my mind, that's what I think would be pretty. So I'm learning that climbing roses bloom more on old wood and not new wood. Very different than a shrub rose. So we really do want to keep these really thick lateral canes. If we trim those, we can trim them back probably about to 10 centimeters or so, but that's where we're going to get our blooms at, on these lateral branches off this main cane that comes all the way down from the base of the rose there. I do have 2 roses here. This one right here is done much better than this one. This one right here, I only have 1 cane coming off of it, but I don't really want to pull that rose up from the ground right there as well. So this one is a really light pink rose. It doesn't have very many petals, and this one is called Lady by the Lake. It's also a David Austin rose, but it is a climber.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, ooh, you, ooh, ooh. So slow, hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other tight. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, ooh, you, ooh, ooh, you, ooh, ooh, you, ooh, you're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say, you're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you.
So I did the best that I could with what I'm working with. I wish my trellis was a little bit larger, but that's what I got right now. Been nice to have 3 of those instead of 2, like 1 for the middle. But I tried to get it fanned out as much as I can so I could get lateral shoots to give me flowers there. Let me show you up closer. So here's the base, and I've got some dirt that I'm gonna have come in this week, and I'm gonna fill all this with dirt and some more mulch, and we're gonna get this side done as well this week. We're gonna mulch, put a good compost down, and then real thick layer of mulch all the way on this side of the hill so we don't have to mow it, and we're going to plant it up so it won't erode. But back to the rows. So like I said, I'm going to fill it in with dirt and mulch, and this is how I tried to fan it out. It's probably easier when you very first plant the rows to try to get it to train the way you like instead of your 2 or 3 that I am on. But I just took the most lateral cane and brought it over here to the very edge of the trellis, and then the second cane again to this other edge of the trellis here. So I just got one down here, one here on that same. And then this cane was wanting to go this way, but it has several lateral shoots. So I brought it here. I probably could have tied it up here as well, but then I have other canes tied up here too. So I feel like I got a nice fan effect going on here. Some of these canes are crisscross, which I'm really not happy with, like this one right here, but they're not touching, as you can see right there. Bring it back over here. They're not touching, so they're not going to rub on each other, and the same with this one as well. They're not touching, so actually this one's just kind of going behind, and I got it tied on the back part of the trellis. So that's all I really did on this rose, was just trim the very tip tops. And then I left a lot of the lateral canes, but I trimmed off some of them, which I probably shouldn't have. I'm learning that that's where your flowers are coming from. So hopefully, like this cane right here, I'll get some lateral shoots. And then next year, I'm not gonna prune as much of the lateral canes, as long as they're a good thick cane. I heard like a pencil width, like this one's probably still kind of spindly, but I'm gonna leave it and see what it does. The same with down here, that's not really a pencil length, but like I said, I'm kind of experimenting with you guys as well and learning as we go. But I like the look of this, much better than what it was before. And this is the very front rose, the Lady of the Lake. And I got my husband to pull this out from this right here without damaging my obelisk too much. So you could see that he just cut here and down here, and we just pulled it apart and then pulled it back together again. So I was able to save this. So I learned my lesson. So do not put your obelisk in the middle of the rose. So for this one, I have 2 roses down here, one here and one here, and this just has one major cane coming off of it. And it really hasn't done a whole lot, but instead of moving it, I'm just going to attach it to this trellis on the outer edge here. It's kind of attached up here. I'm just going to leave it like that for right now. And this one, I have 3 main canes coming off the base. And I tied this one to this side of the house, the post. And then this main cane was not very pliable, but I've got it managed to be able to stay hooked right here. And these 2 canes I just kind of tied together so it won't be really woolly. And what me and my husband thought would look really good would find a wood piece that goes from here to here, kind of like the Victorian look, and have a wood piece right there, and then I can tie some of these canes going that way, and the same with the other side. I think that'll look great. I hope this video was helpful in learning how to tie these canes to the trellis. I feel like I like the shape much better. It's not all wild and woolly and sticking out where the canes can attack you when you're out here mowing or try to plant up this hill in the next couple of weeks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.